The Marvel Cinematic Universe continues to expand with its 28th film. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness finds Stephen Strange attempting to protect young America Chavez from demons hunting her because of her power to travel through the multiverse. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. Check. This is Ronald, and we are leaving the theater after seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am here with...
It's me, Nichole, again.
It's Nichole Hill. We are here together. We can stand down here, and I think we should be okay.
Okay.
The only thing is, like, well, as long as it doesn't, I think it should be fine.
Oh,
all right.
There's also benches down there. We can go further away.
Oh, okay. Where?
No fun music.
Ooh, let's see what's over there. Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh, doesn't that look like now I feel like I'm in a multiverse?
Yeah, 100%.
I've never noticed
100%.
that before in like 100 years of living here.
Okay. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi, written by Michael Waldron, starring Benedict Cumberbatch.
I was like, Cumberbatch.
Elizabeth Olsen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong, Xochitl Gomez, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Rachel McAdams are the only cast members that I can tell you anything about without spoiling the movie.
It's hard to talk about.
Well, we're going to spoil it a little bit, but let's not spoil the cameos. We can talk about the Illuminati, but we won't talk about who the Illuminati are.
Okay.
What?
Oh, no, I mean, it's like, the cameo, the multiverse is hard because it's like, what are the consequences of the things that happen in the multiverse?
Yeah.
The cameos are cameos, but it's a multiverse.
That's true. I think, okay, so in this movie, and you know what, it really is hard to talk about this without spoiling it because I realize I can't even tell you all the antagonists. So
right, exactly.
I'm telling you straight up right now, yeah, very good. Yeah. I'm telling y'all straight up right now, like, if you care about spoilers, turn this off, go watch the movie, come back. We'll still be here. You can pause it. This is their technology. We're all good.
Oh my God, all this looks like the multiverse.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh my God.
You're just only talking about one universe, though.
No.
Oh, they got this is nice over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw it at the Alamo Draft House here in Northeast DC, and we're in a nice little area. We got to finish this before they start. Gentrification clearly has a stranglehold on this area.
Oh, yes.
Where it is.
That part, it didn't reach, and that's why it looks like the multiverse.
Yeah.
It's very green. Things don't look very real to me right now, but I feel like it's the movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's also about to rain. Okay, so the movie is basically Doctor Strange is confronted with the task of having to save a young woman, America... Chavez. Okay. America Chavez, who has a power of being able to walk between the multiverses. And he is defending her against an enemy. I told you all about spoilers. I'm about to say the enemy's name.
What?
You could still go. What?
Why are you telling me the enemy?
Because how are we going to talk about it without...
True. I mean, true. Fair. Okay.
Okay. So y'all have a chance to get away. You can get away right now. You can get away. And the bad guy is Scarlet Witch. That is the bad guy. So that is who he is facing off against. I feel like everyone's walking around be like, Scarlet Witch! Oh my God! AKA Wanda Maximoff. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts about Sam Raimi directing this movie.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to get to that yet because I feel like I'm going to spend a lot of time harping on that.
Okay.
And I'll point out to very specific details. But what are your thoughts on this?
On the movie?
On the movie overall.
Interesting turn. So I've never seen a Doctor Strange movie.
Okay.
and we did I guess I feel like Marvel has me so trained to be afraid of spoilers, but I guess you already said it.
Yeah.
But like we did a turn into horror, a deep turn into the horror franchise, which I think is cool from a storytelling angle. Like they have to do something new. It is good. I struggle with the stakes of the multiverse. I always struggle with the stakes of the multiverse. It's like, I grew up on soap operas. So people die, but then their evil twin comes back, or they come back. They're never dead. It doesn't matter. No funeral matters. So that's hard for me, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Okay.
Absolutely. I had such a good time.
I really was enjoying this movie about 2/3 of the way through. And then, and that last third, they Sam Raimi'd me hard in a way that I was not enjoying anymore. Specifically,
Yeah, it's a lot going on. The music would have been so much nicer.
yeah, we can. No one expected to hear a siren. Like, I don't know, we're gonna walk over here, just siren that just keeps going forever. Okay, so I think one of my biggest. So let's talk about the multiverse for a minute. Then we'll go into Sam Raimi. I still see the stakes, and I see them in this way. I think in this one, you have a movie where, if you think about the claim to your own universe, I think there's still a very personal claim there, and those are the stakes that they keep trying to establish, and I think they're doing a good job of establishing, because they're basically saying, yes, this person may exist in another universe, but they don't belong to me. So even though, for instance, he goes from one universe to another universe and sees Christine, who is single and unmarried, but in his universe, his Christine is married. So while he may even love this one, she has history with him where she's like, I have my own Doctor Strange, and I hated him just like I hate you. You know what I mean? So that's cool. No, you can talk. Well, again, there's going to be spoilers in this one. It's hard to talk about it without it. So I feel like they do a good job of establishing ownership over one's universe as being the stakes, as saying yeah, you can escape and live. Yeah, maybe all your friends are alive in another one, but you still gonna have memories of you know what I mean? Because if I watched you die, if I watched you, Nick, die, and you existed in another universe, your life would be a reminder of your death. You know what I mean?
I can see it. The only issue I have is if you are the superhero, you need to save the day. This, you're not my one, but you're the other one. It feels almost like it's easier to sacrifice these people who are, or maybe that's not it. Maybe it's not the multiverse. It's the fact that people kept saying, how could you do this to this one random girl after she wreaked havoc across universes, killed anything? I mean, she was she's a monster. And to keep being no, it's not about the multiverse. It's not about saving different multiverses. It's not about saving different people multiverses. It's just, how could you do this to this girl? Yeah. And she's like, your kids won't like it. Why are you talking about her one life?
That's true. I think that's
so weird to me.
I think that's true. I think they're managing the multiverse the best that they can. Okay. I think that there's a worse way to handle multiverses. Sure, and we've seen it before where it's just it's confusing and all that. And I think for them to do a movie where we basically went through about 3 to 5 different universes in real time, I wasn't confused. I knew exactly where we were the whole time. But I do think you're right. I think at some point there has to be the thought of saying, if we are talking about the fabric of reality and incursions, we have to start talking about what the real stakes are here, and not just say exactly. And I think What If did a very good job of showing that, because at one point they're like, we'll rip them all apart. I'm gonna come through several different realities and kill her. I'm like, now that's
real. Okay, I feel that.
But I think that's what they're headed towards, because I don't think you could do that in the first. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember who.
Super scary.
He Who Remains, He Who Remains, So I mean, there's going to be more Kang the Conqueror. There's going to be more, and they're going to have another. I'm looking at a CrossFit gym. Of course I am. That's the first sign of gentrification.
No, so all the signs have come. It's done.
Oh yeah. All 7. It is now complete. We're
6 years ago.
These people are white people riding by on bikes, feeling safe. I mean, I can't afford to live here.
No, it's so expensive, but it's beautiful.
No, I like it. I'll come and hang out, but I want to go home. Okay, but so I think for me, I think as long as they can keep, you're right, as long as they can establish some sort of actual threat that raises the stakes, and they're gonna have to kill some people and leave them dead.
Some people have got to be killed and left for dead.
Yeah,
that is what has to happen, because if we keep doing this, I killed you, but this one came back. it's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? And yes, this one doesn't, but it's kind of like, in every soap opera where their memories get wiped. And they're like, oh, but you're my husband. And he's like, oh, I don't remember you. And then you go on a journey and then they eventually come back. Like, that's where I am. But I will say, I agree with you. They're doing an amazing job explaining the multiverse. I don't feel confused. And also, I think that their conceptualization of time travel is changing the way culturally we conceive it.
Agreed.
As evidenced by Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Agreed.
Right? So it's just like, oh no, it's not that I'm time hopping.
Oh, I forgot we saw that together too.
We did.
We got multiverse movies.
I think that's really cool. Yeah. I think their concept of time travel is cool and also very poetic.
I agree. I think there's things that this movie did well. I think it's a Marvel movie. I think they solidly, there's the Illuminati are in this movie, which is the only spoiler I'll say. I won't say who's in the Illuminati, which is very interesting. I think it sets up for the future in a way that the MCU has been trying to for a while. So I think they're finally going to try to get at least two things right.
Or they're going to back out completely. Either way, they left themselves room.
I have a feeling. I got a feeling that one of those contracts, the guy with the beard, I'm like, that dude is him.
Although, I will say, the guy with the beard, when he was acting, it did not look like he was looking. Did you notice that? I was going to ask you, like, is he supposed to, why isn't he looking at the character?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if they if they weren't in the same room when this happened.
I totally agree, but everyone else was looking the correct way.
Yeah.
And he was like, you will do what I say or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, the line of sight, like, where are we?
Yeah. I charge it to,
small.
It's weird. No, I get it. I feel like I won't charge that to the guy with the beard, but I will charge that to direction. And being like,
yes, I totally agree.
Come on, man, what are we doing here?
Because it had to have been that it was like the day of film. This is so small, but all these things like really get me. Like when people have, what are those things called? Inconsistencies, where you're like holding a cup and the next thing you're not.
Yeah. You'd be a good script supervisor.
I would 100% because these are the things since I was a kid where I would be like, she wasn't wearing that scarf.
Yeah.
But it was like,
why is his beard longer?
Exactly. It's so obvious to me. And so it's the thing where he had to do the scene and there was a stand-in standing here, but then for the actual scene, they put the person over there. So he's looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's very distracting.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but I will say, in terms of setting up for the future, they put some Easter eggs in this movie. Not quite Easter egg salad, very close to Easter egg salad though. There was a lot. Yeah, I've made it. I first coined the phrase on Pop Culture Happy Hour, where I'm just like, you got too many Easter eggs. It's all eggs and no movie. So I think I enjoyed those portions, and I think the parts of it where Marvel is stepping in and Kevin Feige is stepping in, I feel like it was a better movie than when it was Sam Raimi. And I've arrived at my gripes.
Okay.
There were a lot of parts of this movie where if you were paying attention and you know Sam Raimi's work, you're just like, this is just Sam Raimi doing Sam Raimi's thing.
Oh, how so?
For instance, the guy beating himself up. That is an Evil Dead reference. That is Ash having the possessed hand and beating himself up. That's part of it right there. The second part is, did you notice how bright and full of color the monster was in the very first opening scenes?
Yes, I
like
did.
They almost look cartoonish, right?
Yeah.
Did it look familiar to you?
I don't know.
I need you to think all the way back to 2002, a little superhero movie that actually changed the era of superhero movies, directed by the same director.
It's not Iron Man.
It is Spider-Man.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, yo, it almost looks like the cheap Joss Whedon sets. It was so
cheap.
bright.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what got me, and I'm like, that's very Sam Raimi. And, I'm sorry. You're so expressive, I thought you were about to say something. No, so it's like, so watching that, it took me out because I was sitting there, I'm like, this is very... It's like he was like, okay, I know how to do a superhero movie. I'm going to do what I did before. I'm like, you didn't look on the shoulders of people or even look at the first version of this movie and see the color scheme or any of that. And I encourage you to go back and watch Doctor Strange.
I will,
yeah, because I think you'll enjoy it because they do a lot more things with kaleidoscopes and all that. That's very interesting to watch.
I don't like any of that.
You don't like when they like ding, and run sideways on the walls and all that?
No.
Why not?
I am like a character-driven, none of that stuff. I like Iron Man. I want hand-to-hand combat.
They got that.
Only. I want a dynamic personality.
They got that.
Like everybody's having to bounce.
Just watch it. You watch it. You'll trust me.
But the magic, like whenever they're falling.
Yeah. She's like, the magic is in the story, not in the mechanics.
Just am not a magical person.
I think you would enjoy it. I could be wrong. I don't think you'll hate it.
Okay.
I'll say that.
I'm gonna watch it.
But I will say, like, so watching it, and just keep in mind the color scheme of the movie when you watch it. And when I say that, you'll know it. When you see it, you'll just be like,
I
oh.
was like, this is very bright.
Yeah.
This looks like a cartoon.
Yeah,
Especially the opening sequence where I was like, this doesn't look like Marvel.
Yeah, it's very Sam Raimi. There was a lot of things in there that felt very Sam Raimi. Okay. Now, the most Sam Raimi of all the Raimis was towards the end of the movie when he is possessing his corpse.
Okay.
I am almost positive that there's no way in the world in the original script they had that because it was such a Night of the Living Dead moment, you know, Ash versus the Evil Dead, all those Sam Raimi originals from back in the day. We're sitting here looking at a zombie have a poignant moment with America, and I almost heard you and be like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?"
I agree. I don't. I was like, all the zombie, the horror. I would say the horror,
the dead spirits.
It's just like, this is not what we do.
No.
I'm open to horror.
Yes.
I'm not open to zombies. That feels like it felt like we were missing a little bit of the like cheekiness of a Marvel movie, and it felt like we were venturing into very dangerous, like, stupid territory.
It felt very close to campy for me, but that's the thing. And so I almost want to make you, I'm not going to make you go on a Sam Raimi journey, but all of his movies are like that. Okay. All of his movies are super campy. It's like a lot of slapstick. If you watch, there's a movie called Drag Me to Hell, which is exactly what they do to, like, they're knocking women around. There's a demon about to drag them to hell. They got to touch on them, all that stuff. And even the ways in which they're animating the faces and stuff. He likes animatronics. He doesn't like CGI. And he got CGI that looks like animatronics in this movie. For me, walking into the scene before he gets possessed, this movie was a 4-star movie. I was like, this is a 4-star movie. They are killing it. They are like, after that, I was like half a star down. This is a 3.5-star movie because I was like, I can't, this was too much Raimi as far as I was concerned. Because I was like, if you took all of that, I would almost be interested to see the same plot or a close similar plot done by somebody who was like more into the Marvel universe and not like Sam Raimi, who has kind of been out of it for a while. Now, I know people are going to listen to this and they might say, oh, well, I really liked it and all that. And I'm like, and you might. You might. All I'm saying is I hope that at the very least you can see the difference between a movie like this that Sam Raimi is directing and something that somebody else would direct. And I think that was my main point when we got to the end. What did you think?
You know, Marvel in the third act. I mean, I love Marvel. It's very rare that they nail a third act. Yeah. So I am now trained after, when did Iron Man come out? I don't know how long I've been watching these movies.
Yeah, 2000.
A significant portion of my life. I am conditioned to, like, not care about their third act and to be like, they can't do this. It's just, they're beautiful people. They have good hearts, and they can't do it. Yeah. So, it went off the rails. It's so it was so, and it's hurt by the fact that by the third act, the stakes are to save a person. Yeah. And it's not. Yeah. It's not big enough. I just was like, I don't. What? Who? And the person, this like, I guess we could say, like, this girl. Is not like a spunky Marvel character. She's not like the little bit of Spider-Man we got in Civil War. She's not like, I'm trying to think of more children, Hawkeye, like, we meet her and it's like, oops, what am I doing? She doesn't have like a spunk. She's just a kid who runs from universe to universe and eats pizza in 2 scenes. Yeah. And so I'm kind of like, I don't care what happens to this little girl. Ooh. I care about her because she is Latina. Yeah. I
Me too.
Brown people to live.
Yes.
After we
shout out to Benedict Wong.
Slaughtered black women.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, in very, very rough ways, man. Like, 2 black women just like bite it hard.
And just like, let's zoom in on their deadness. Yeah. Didn't appreciate it.
I didn't like that either.
Did not appreciate it.
And I think there was a moment in the beginning of the movie where Benedict Wong was getting a bit of a superhero turn, and like he was getting a good opportunity. And I was like, wow, that'd be awesome if they just let him kill this monster by himself. But they couldn't. No. And it almost made me say, like, why couldn't he's the Sorcerer Supreme, let him kill him. Like, let me get that.
He really kind of just hung on to things, the Sorcerer Supreme, throughout the movie. Yeah. Woke up on top of a thing, hung on to things. Yeah. Stood up, fell down. Yeah. I mean, he doesn't do anything. Yeah, no, I think there was, man, are we knocking this movie down even more? No, I think, you're right. I think there were, like, deficiencies that are obvious. And, I mean, I do think diversity-wise, they did better. There was more women up front. There was more people of color up front doing stuff. But you're right. Like, if they're just going to get, like, knocked into oblivion, like, you brought in a black woman we had never seen before. These major black women, dark-skinned, short-haired black women.
Yeah.
So we can watch them die.
Yeah.
Let the white ladies do that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You heard me say as soon as that old girl died, I was like, she just got here.
Exactly. And they lit them well and everything.
Yes.
It's a big thing for dark-skinned women.
Yes.
Just so we could really see them die.
Yes, exactly. It's like, all right, come on, guys. Like you. So I don't know. I think generally, I still think it's a 3.5 star movie. I'm still in tune to Marvel. I don't think this is a drop off from their most recent work. I liked this better than I liked Eternals, and I know. Yeah, so there's a hot debate going on because I think a lot of people got defensive because the first wave of people who saw Eternals, including me, were like, it's all right. And then so the next wave that saw it was like, what are you talking about? This movie great. And I was like, I think it is just okay. I would love your opinion on that.
All right, I'm going to watch it.
I would love your opinion.
It looked like the most boring thing I'd ever seen.
You're not, okay. Listen, I have a review on the Eternals. You can go look it up. But I will say this. You mentioned something about third act, and I wanted to ask you a question. Were you a fan of the Avengers Infinity War?
Yes.
Because I thought that third act was great, and I think I know why.
Why? Because
like you literally, it leaves with stakes and it's uncertain. Like they kill all these people. We're like, what's going to happen? The movie goes off, and there was real consequences.
And they failed. They just let us see them fail.
Yeah.
And they worked hard, and they came together, and they did what they need to do.
They did all the things they were supposed to do.
They tried to. We always do in Marvel, which it works in Marvel. What do they call it? Like the A cycle 2.0, whatever they call the first cycle that we grew up on with Marvel, where it's like, the thing that gets the hero is trying to save one person. And in this case, it really worked. Where she's like, no, I can't kill Vision. Is that we should have took Vision out from day one.
100%. As soon as they found out, oh, great, we got it.
Robot.
Yeah, he got to go. Yeah.
So, or a cyborg or whatever he's supposed to be. No, he's not even a cyborg. He's a literal robot with consciousness.
I mean, it's debatable, but you don't want those problems. You don't want those emails. I'm going to get those emails.
So we nailed it in Infinity War. I also think, what was the last one? Endgame.
Yeah,
oh,
Another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. But traditionally, like usually, we get a massive fight sequence that is too long and just like people fighting and too much CGI. It's just like we kind of go off the rails.
Yeah.
That is what we did here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it didn't bother me because I was like, this is what you do.
Yeah.
When they get it right, that's when I'm like, whoa, Marvel.
I think you are. It sounds like I agree with your argument, but it sounds like your argument is more about stakes, and I'm 100% with you on that because I am to a point now where I'm saying like, well, we know Iron Man is dead, we know Captain America is gone, so we know that Thor could not be. Oh, exactly, but I'm saying you could, but I'm saying and I feel like I do like a universe in which now we have the multiverse. These guys can show up and do cameos and be in one scene and then go back to their universe. I'm here for that. But I'm saying like the idea that these guys now live in a universe where Iron Man is dead and all that. If you put that in a movie script, there's something to be said about that making it a more powerful movie than just like, oh, they saved the day, and then all right, we gotta be ready for the next threat. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I kept worrying about. Like I was like, oh my gosh, are we gonna do a scene where Captain America comes back? Because that undoes everything like crucial and big. If we do a scene where we see Iron Man again, that is a mistake in my opinion.
Agreed.
Their death was so. It was a sacrifice. It was permanent. It was big.
Yeah.
But I guess part of why I worry about the multiverse is because I worry that in part it exists so that we could see Captain America or Iron Man again, and I don't want to.
Well,
I would love to in my heart, but the storyteller in me is like, this is bad storytelling. That means nothing will have consequences ever again.
The good thing about that is I think they've demonstrated a way in which you could see consequences and you could see people in different forms because the Red Skull was snatched away in the first Captain America. Then he shows up again guarding the Soul Stone. Like that's his whole job. And when he shows up, you're like, ooh, like I don't want to be that guy. So I think there's an opportunity for them to like do things like that, to have like a Captain America be old and feeble and in a different universe. And like, I think there's opportunities for them to show like glances of this stuff or even because they're going to bring Tony back as Jarvis, which is...
Shouldn't do that.
I think I'm okay with that. Like, because just as a voice, not as an actor.
No.
Why?
Tony's gone. We gotta let.
But he already implanted himself into Jarvis. We know that's coming.
We know, but it's like, don't do this. Don't do it.
I think you have to trust Marvel to do it right.
It makes me too nervous because everyone messes this up. Every network television show that's like, we're gonna kill everybody. Nope, they're back.
Yeah.
Every soap opera, we're killing everybody. They're back. Every time, like Game of Thrones is what it is because they kill people and they're just dead.
Well,
Except for sometimes.
they brought back Jon Snow to do
didn't
nothing.
Bring back Ned.
That's true. That was one of their best moves.
And it was done.
Yeah.
And also his wife, right?
Yeah.
I only read the books. I never saw the show.
Oh, every Stark is dead except there's 3 Starks alive.
Yeah.
4 Starks alive technically.
That kid that doesn't move.
Yeah, the dumb kid. Okay, this is becoming. All right, wait. So let me do that now. What star rating would you give this? I gave it 3.5. What would you give it?
Okay, this is my last point I'm gonna make, and this is why I'm giving it this rating.
Okay.
What Marvel is doing, what I can sense in what they're doing that I really do appreciate, is that we are aging their original audience. And what they're doing to our superheroes, I think the way they're handling kind of putting them away is so respectful and so aligned with probably where I feel I am, at least, where it's like you're gonna have to confront the you have strengths that people will turn to you for, and like you need to understand you're a leader, you did the big thing, so people are looking up to you. And also, if you don't deal with your issues, they're still going to haunt you. If you don't play by the rules, it doesn't just go away just because you saved the world. And your happiness starts to be more important than the adventure. And so I can relate so much with the heroes, and I am like sad to see them kind of being sent to the back, but also it's just like, I don't know, I just see a lot of, I think that they're writing for us and the way we're growing. I love it. But the third act is bad and the stakes were not good, so it's a 3.
Okay, so we give this one a 3.25 of 5 stars. I'm happy with that, honestly, because I think you should go see it. I think there's been a lot of parts that you really like, but I don't necessarily think it's not one of Marvel's best. But I've given so much goodwill to Marvel at this point that I expect that they have got to have some ones that are just okay. Not every movie is going to be 4 or 5 stars anymore. So it's like I expect that they're not going to be. There's some are going to be just okay, and this one's good. I liked it. 3.25 I think is a fair rating.
I totally agree. They're setting us all up for the wonderful things that they do. I mean,
exactly.
Avengers Endgame felt like such a payoff.
Absolutely.
I felt it,
and they had some stinkers on the way there.
And they did exactly. But we made, and they were like, we don't care that you don't like Age of Ultron. We're gonna make it central to the plot. And we just getting there just felt so good. So I know that I can't remember what they call the Marvel phases, different things.
Oh yeah, this is phase 4.
Yeah.
One,
so
2,
like
3,
I can feel the ramp up to something. And I'm really happy for the young people. I will not be seeing every Marvel film anymore because I don't care that much after Endgame. I'm like, I didn't see Eternals. Like all this.
I just thought of a way to force you to see every Marvel movie, which is I'm just gonna have you on the show every time. So because the next one's Thor: Love and Thunder, so we'd be like, all right, cool. Well, that means you got to watch Moon Knight on Disney Plus, which I know you were interested in.
Thinking about seeing that.
All 6 episodes are out. Miss Marvel's gonna come out. They introduced Miss Marvel on Moon Knight. Spoiler. So
Miss Marvel?
Yeah, the first South Asian superhero.
Okay, I've heard of her. Okay, yeah. But it's just been so many misses lately, and there's so much Marvel content that I just accepted in my heart, like, hey, buddy, it doesn't have to be before it was like every single, except for Spider-Man, except for Ant-Man, and except for Doctor Strange. I got to see every single thing.
That's cool. We're going to get her to see every movie. We're going to, by the end of this, we're going to make Nichole. I didn't hear anything you said.
None of the bug ones.
None of what you just said. Not one thing you said has washed over me. I'm going to make it my mission to see everyone. If I have to pay you cash, I'm going to pay her cash.
If
I'm going to pay her off.
I'm not watching it. And if it is a clown, I'm not going to watch him. What was
the Ant-Man movies were so surprisingly good. It was like the Ant-Man movies were better than this.
Really?
The first one was better than this. The first one was better than this. The second one was as good as this.
Okay. The first ones are usually pretty good.
The first one was so good, I was like, y'all should have started with Ant-Man instead of Iron Man. This was fantastic.
Really?
Yes.
I don't like that power to become an ant. I'm not interested.
And once they explain it, it makes sense.
Okay.
Because it's stuff that you keep that we gotta go. All right. So
Can you do hand-to-hand combat?
Yes.
I want to see hand-to-hand combat.
No, because the thing is the power stays the same force no matter what size he is. And because ants can carry 10 times their size, When he's small, he still packs the same punch. So
I don't want to see him do a little leg kick to a big person. I want to see them. Like
that's not what he did.
America.
Yeah.
What was the one where Bucky came back?
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Ooh, in the elevator, but also that scene where it's Captain America and Bucky, and they're just hand to hand with a knife.
Yeah.
The choreography, the fight choreography of that, I went down such a rabbit hole, started following that, the coordinator. Yeah. That is what I love.
All right, we got to go. With that, Leaving the Theater is a production of Oh, It's Big Ron Studios. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. This show was mixed by Thomas Tyra of Bias Studios. Thank you, Thomas. To find out more about this show and other Oh, It's Big Ron Studios shows, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Oh, It's Big Ron. That's at ohitsBigRon. If you like this show, I host another show for Pineapple Street Studios called HBO Docs Club. Check that out wherever you listen. Leaving the Theater will be back soon. Thank you so much for being with me, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for listening.